Another phrase I shared with my kids when they were growing up was, no one gives a rip. We're going to talk about that next on
Papa Swag's words of wisdom and encouragement.
Welcome to Papa Swag's Words of Wisdom and Encouragement. Hello, I'm John Papa Swag Munzie, and I'm on a boat today. And on this channel, on Papa Swag TV, we talk about life, the challenges that come with life, and how to overcome those challenges.
If that sounds like something interesting to you, hit that red button and subscribe to the channel.
Now on to the video. No one gives a freaking rip. That's a phrase I told my boys. Actually, it was no one gives a rip, but sometimes I added freaking. I don't know why. But I was thought about doing a video on that, and as I thought about that phrase, no one gives a rip, I began to think about and ponder that phrase. I began to think about my family and a journey that we took that started in 2004. And this is a story about risk. It's a story of change. It's a story of fear. It's a story of faith. It's a story of going out and a whole lot more. And this story led me to do the show today on a boat. We want to give special thanks to our friend Marianne, who's allowed us to use a boat to come out here on Indian Lake, Ohio, or I don't know what the name of it. I guess it's Indian Lake. And for years I was stuck in a boat, which is a metaphor for life. I'm trying to explain this to my live audience that I have today. And in 2004, it got me to, something started within me to get out of the boat of life and to start a journey that I brought my family along with, whether they liked it or not. And it also is a story of how I got from Baltimore, Maryland to Columbus, Ohio. Hang on to your hats, for you're about to go on a wild ride. Let me say, only my family knows that once we got started, no one gave a rip but us. The year was 2004. I was living in Baltimore, Maryland. I was married to my wife, and we had 3 small children. I think my youngest was 4 years old. And I was working at a very good company in Baltimore, but I was in a position in a job where I just kind of didn't feel challenged anymore, and I felt like I needed to do something different. And I kept on trying to get different jobs or positions within the company I was at, and nothing seemed to happen. Nothing seemed to come from it. And then finally, I was at a small group. I believe it was the summer of 2004, maybe early summer, maybe spring. I'm not sure then. But our friend Julia in one of our small groups turned to me and said, maybe you're looking in the wrong place. I just want to stop with that phrase, because I believe there's people out there, you may be frustrated with the job you're at or in whatever you may be doing. Maybe you're looking in the wrong place, and maybe you need to be looking somewhere else. Maybe that is something that needs to motivate you to get out of your comfort zone. But that's what motivated me to get out of my comfort zone. So when Julia said that, it made me realize I needed to begin to look somewhere else. And I began to look for children's pastors ministries, and because of time limits, I don't want to go on the background of why I looked for a children's pastor position. But what it came down to, I had an offer for 2 positions. One was in Reading, Pennsylvania, and one was in Wilmington, Delaware. And so what we decided to do, and the job offers and the way that everything went, we decided to take the job in Wilmington, Delaware. We got out of our comfort zone, we didn't give a rip, and we started a new journey. So in 2005, we started a new journey. We took a drive up of Interstate 95. It was about an hour and 15 minutes from where we lived in Baltimore. The church we decided to work at, our compensation was a house. We didn't have to pay for the electricity or pay any kind of rent or mortgage. So we ended up in the state of Delaware. Delaware is known as the first state, the state of tax-free shopping, the state of 3 counties. You can drive through it in one day: Newcastle, Kent County, Sussex County. One of my favorite places to go is there. Rehoboth Beach. It's not far from the beach. And in the state of Delaware is where my love for Wawas began, where my love for the Wawa steak hoagie began. And the reason that happened is because of the job that I was working and the job my wife was working. A lot of times we would meet for lunch at Wawa's, and she would get a delicious hoagie and I would get a delicious hoagie. And it is a wonderful, wonderful sandwich. Love the Wawa hoagies. And So we came and worked under Pastor Tommy and Beth, and they became very good friends of ours during this journey. Um, we organized numerous events based on the holiday season or the season of the year that it was. So we did Christmas plays. We did a Resurrection Festival where we did an Easter egg hunt. Um, we did a vacation Bible school. I also created a program called The Bridge where I took 4th, 5th, and 6th graders and kind of transitioned them. We had like every other Friday night we'd have like a bridge program where we would try to transition them from going from the children's ministry into the youth ministry. We did a lot of things, but it was in about February of 2007 that stirring began again, where I was like, I've accomplished all that I could accomplish at this church, and there was a new direction that was starting to head. And so I had a conversation with the head pastor, Pastor Tommy, and said, hey, I'm feeling the stirring that maybe it's time for me to move on from this. I've done all that I could do. And so in that context, in that time, I began to apply for other children's pastor positions throughout the country. And I actually had 2 face-to-face interviews, one in Alpharetta, Georgia, and one in Frederick, Maryland. I thought I was going to get the one in Georgia, but what happened, they never offered me that position. I'm not sure what the reason was, but I may have been money. Maybe they couldn't pay me as much as they thought that I needed. Not sure why. And then in Frederick, Maryland, they didn't offer me the job. Neither one offered me the job. And in Frederick, though, I was very disappointed in how they had set up their youth and children's ministry. It was a huge church. However, they put all their money into the choir and the sanctuary, and not hardly any money into their youth and children. So that was started. At the same time, I was looking for a new position. Well, the boat's getting a little rocky here, so the shaking started happening. As you can hear, I have a live audience today. And so things started to shake out. Pastor Tommy and Beth at the same time had decided to start a church in Westerville, Ohio, and they had asked us to come help them out. And so after these 2 disappointments with this church in Frederick and the church in Georgia, we decided to take the plunge, head west, and go to Ohio, which would be about an hour from where my wife grew up. And so we ended up in Dublin, Ohio. I'm sure a lot of people thought we were crazy, but this was a decision that was made between my wife and myself, and so we took our family, and I didn't give a rip what anybody else thought because I believed this was what God was telling me to do, and so this was our next step.
Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, we encourage you to hit that red subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. And hit that bell so you can get notified each time we upload a new video. If you'd like to connect with me on social media, I'm at Papa Swag TV on Twitter and Instagram, as well as I have a Facebook page called Papa Swag TV. Thank you for watching today, and remember, be encouraged. You were created to do great things, and I'm here cheering you on. Till the next video, have a great week.